Hello, and welcome to the Senior Medicare Patrol podcast, Sip and Learn with SMP. Thank you for joining us today. I am Janetta. I am the Community Outreach Specialist for the Mississippi area. We also cover the state of Georgia. So today, our topic for today will be volunteering. And of course, we'll also give you a little bit of information about the SMP program.
And I'm Brenda. I'm the Community Outreach Specialist for the Louisiana area. Before we get started today, I must say that this project is supported by a grant from the U.S. Administration for Community Living, Department of Health and Human Services, Washington, D.C., 20201. SMP is sponsored by AdviseWell, Inc. So today we have a very special treat for you. We have Sunny Lawless joining us today on our podcast, Sip and Learn. Sunny is our SMP volunteer coordinator for Louisiana, Mississippi, and Georgia. And she is responsible for managing the involvement of all the volunteers and ensuring that they stay active and engaged in our program. Welcome, Sunny, and thanks for joining us today.
Hi, thank you guys for having me.
So we're going to start off the podcast with this very important question. Sunny, can you tell us what role does the volunteer play in the Senior Medicare Patrol program? Can you describe some of the duties?
Sure. So volunteers play a very important role in our program. You know, our goal is to bring awareness to every single part of the state. And with a very limited staff, that's really impossible to do without the help of our volunteers. Some of the ways that they can help us is by attending health fairs or resource fairs in their community. And what this entails is just setting up a table, handing out our literature, and really just spreading awareness of our program with the attendees. Another way they can help is by giving short talks to groups of seniors. Those are usually just 10 to 15 minutes, you know, with question and answer afterwards. And it just kind of teaches the seniors on how to prevent, detect, and report Medicare fraud and scams. We provide all the training, we provide scripts and all the giveaways and materials for the volunteers to hand out as they do these events. And we also have volunteers known as community fraud fighters. And these are volunteers who live in senior housing or independent living facilities. And they really help us by distributing brochures, fraud alerts, newsletters, any type of educational material to their neighbors in their own community. And that really helps kind of spread awareness to the program to those who may not get out to those presentations and other events that I mentioned earlier. So there's really lots of different ways for volunteers to get involved with the program.
Okay, that's good. So, Sunny, tell us, what are the qualifications of becoming a volunteer for Senior Medicare Patrol?
Sure. So good communication skills are a must. We really need volunteers who are computer savvy. We do use email as the main form of communication with our volunteers, so it's really important that they have an email address and they check it regularly. They need to have reliable transportation so they can travel within their community to attend presentations and attend community events when they're scheduled to do so. They really need to be able to transport and carry educational materials to these designated locations. You know, sometimes depending on the size of the event or the presentation you're going to be giving, you could have a fair amount of supplies to carry with you. So you have to be able to transport those materials also.
Well, that sounds like fun too. Besides work, it's fun and you're giving something back to your community. So you mentioned earlier that there's training involved. So how long does the training take? And can you describe, you know, the orientation process a little bit?
Sure, that's a really great question. So every volunteer does receive training. They go through what's SMP Foundations training is what it's called. It's done online at their own pace. So once they complete the application process, which includes, you know, submitting an application, a phone interview, and we do screen our volunteers like most volunteer programs do these days. So once they get to that point, they do the foundations training. Like I said, it's done online at their own pace. So sometimes, depending on how you work it, it could take a couple of hours to get through it all. After that, we do have orientation. And the purpose of that orientation is really just to review the purpose and values of the program. We talk about the nature of the role that the volunteer is going to assume, their rights and responsibilities as a volunteer, our rights to them, as the volunteer program. We talk about code of conduct and more during orientation.
Okay, good. So, Sunny, let's say that I'm retired and I want to stay active in my community. How do I become a volunteer for the S&P program? What do I need to do to start that process?
Well, it's very easy to become a volunteer for the program. You just need to call our toll-free hotline number, which is 877-272-8720. You'll request a volunteer information packet. Once we'll send that out to you, the packet includes an application and other information on what volunteering for the program entails. And then once you have an opportunity to review the materials and ask any questions, if you're interested in moving forward, you would just submit that application to us, and that's what gets the process started.
Wow, Sunny, that was great information. Always good to have good information about volunteering for these programs.
Yes,
Okay, you're welcome. Well, now that you know how to become a volunteer, we want to remind you of the 3 main Medicare fraud prevention tips. These are our 3 keys to protect yourself from Medicare fraud. The first key is protect. Treat your Medicare and Social Security card as if it were a debit card. Don't carry it with you unless you need it. Also remember, don't provide your Medicare number to individuals that are not authorized medical professionals. The second key is detect. We ask that you keep track of your visits to the doctor, clinic, hospital, or pharmacy, and compare them to your Medicare summary notice or the explanation of benefits. Review your information for potential fraud, errors, or abuse. This includes looking for things like double billing, charges for services not received, and also for services not ordered by your physician. The third key is report. If you suspect that you have become a victim of Medicare fraud, report it immediately. Don't wait. Contact Senior Medicare Patrol for assistance. Give us a call at our toll-free number, 877-272-8720, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 Central Time. We also have the website that you can visit. The web address is www.stopmedicarefraud.org. We want you to remember reporting any possible errors or fraud helps to save our benefits and protects others from becoming a victim. We want to save this program and make sure that those benefits stay intact for the future.
Yes, that's very, very important. And that's part of our SMP mission. So we also want to let you know that if you're not in the Louisiana, Mississippi, or Georgia areas, and you have any questions, you can contact the SMP Resource Center at 877-808-2468. Or you can also go to the website, www.smpresource.org. And they will connect you through the National SMP Hotline to your state's SMP program. Every state and U.S. territory, including Washington, D.C., have their individual SMP programs. And also, for listening today, you can call our toll-free number, 877-272-8720, and ask for your free My Healthcare Tracker. It's a little journal or little notebook style giveaway that we will send to you just for listening to our podcast. And you can write in it all of your doctor's appointments or supplies that you're receiving or anything like that, so that you can compare them to your explanation of benefits or the Medicare summary notice that you get every 90 days. So you can compare and make sure that everything is correct on those summary notices. Again, call for your free My Healthcare Tracker to our toll-free number at 8720. That's free just for listening to our podcast today.
Okay. Well, we want to thank Sunny for joining us today and giving us all that great information on volunteering and information about our volunteer program. So, Sunny,
Thank
one
you,
last
Sunny.
time. Thank you. Give us that
Thank
number
you. We
one more
appreciate it.
time.
Thank you for having me. And all they need to do is call our toll-free hotline number at 877-272-8720 for more information about volunteering.
Wow. Thank you,
Yes.
Sunny. Well, we also want to thank you for joining us today, and we hope you join us again for the next episode of Sip and Learn with S&P. Bye-bye. Bye, ladies.
Bye-bye.